Good morning, everyone. I promise I'm not going to sing the whole time. Happy Saturday, everyone. It's going to be a beautiful one. Time out. I left my coffee just on the counter or desk. It's okay, but hopefully everyone has a delightful warm beverage, whether that's coffee or tea, or maybe you're starting off with a beer. Maybe you have some Baileys in your coffee, like I do. Shh. I'm so excited to be practicing with you this morning. It's going to be a pretty chill practice today. We're gonna have a little bit of a story time. I didn't write a poem this time, just a quick little story time. So when I first started teaching yoga, I taught at a studio in Albany, Oregon, and I would teach a gentle yoga class a couple times a week. And so it was a lot of people, this is the first time that they'd stepped onto a yoga mat, or they, were recovering from an injury, surgery, or just wear and tear on their body over time. So it was a really beautiful class to teach because it, brought you back to the basics every time that I taught it. And so as I was thinking, like, what am I going to teach? I kept reflecting on that, and I'll be teaching a gentle yoga class this morning. It'll be good. And a lot of times, if you are hoping to have your butt kicked today and have all the vinyasas and like hold plank pose for 5 minutes straight, you can definitely do that. But I would recommend maybe backing off and giving yourself the time and the grace and space to take things a little easier and come back to the basics, like what it really feels like to settle into a warrior one pose, etc. So do with that what you want. As always, this is your practice. So if you truly do need that 5-minute plank, like you can set a timer and do it. And if my gentle yoga class is not gentle enough for you, feel free to chill it out even more. You do you. That's the motto of the class today. Information for the playlist is like up in the chat as well as in the description of the class. So feel free to get your playlist on. But yeah, let's get started on our backs. And just make sure that you know where your beverages are so you don't accidentally kick them or swipe them or whatever. So we are going to get started on our backs, like I said. And we are going to have the knees bent. And we'll bring the feet out a little wider than hips width. And wide enough so that the knees can just like knock in on each other. And that the knees can feel really supported by each other. So that way the lower half of the body can chill out. And let's bring the palms up toward the sky. Seeing if we can get both the thumbs and the pinky fingers to rest on the earth. And let's start to shrug the shoulders down a little bit. If your shoulders are anything like mine, they're like super thirsty for my ears and like are always trying to get with my ears. And so to just always gently guide them back down. And let's reach the arms up to the sky. Doesn't matter which arm is in front. We'll cross the arms and give ourselves a little hug. Allowing the elbows to move away from the chin. And start to drop into the breath. If your allergies aren't plaguing you too much, maybe you're breathing in and out through the nose. And start to give yourself permission to slow down and to not go, at 110% all the time. Give yourself permission to be okay with not going full bore. Because again, if you're anything like me, it's always like to do the hardest pose. I have to, stretch myself past the point that I should, both physically, mentally, emotionally. But I think we all need that reminder that it's okay not to always go so far. And let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. And we'll roll the wrists. Maybe bringing the hands into fists, rolling the wrists one way, then maybe another way. And remembering which arm was closest to the chin, because we're going to cross the other arm on top. Giving yourself a hug. It's typically now going to be an awkward arm on top. So it might feel like someone else is hugging you. So maybe think of like that one person that you just want that great big hug from. And maybe it's me. And maybe I'm hugging you right now. We'll take a couple more rounds of breath here. Again, just settling into the breath, finding that nice rhythm and pace to the breath that will carry you throughout the practice. And let's reach the hands up to the sky. Again, one more time to roll the wrists out. And then let's drop the hands, the arms alongside the body. Again, palms facing up. And we'll start to snow angel the arms. So you'll glide the arms along the ground, reaching the arms, the fingertips behind you, getting that long top body stretch. And then we'll snow angel the arms back down. But I guess we wouldn't be snow angeling anymore. We're officially into spring. So like imagine you're just like that scene in Alice in Wonderland. We're going to keep moving the arms as I go off on a tangent. That scene in Alice in Wonderland, the cartoon, when she just like lays down in the flowers and kind of disappears. Imagine that you're there and allergies aren't a thing. And you're just like running your hands along the flowers. That's where I want to be right now. Either that or on a beach, making a sand angel. There we go. And one more time, just really taking your time moving the arms, feeling the movement in the shoulders, just waking them up, noticing if there's any kind of sticking points of the shoulders. Just taking note of that as we continue on with our practice. We'll bring the arms alongside the body. And we'll start to bring the heels back more in line with the hips, knees come apart. We'll keep the left foot planted on the earth and let's hug that right knee in, holding on to shin or the knee or the back of the thigh, whatever makes the most sense and allows the head and shoulders to continue to rest down toward the earth. Just taking a moment to allow that right hip crease to deepen. And let's hold on to the hamstring, the backside of that right leg. And let's start to press the right foot up toward the sky. Doesn't necessarily have to get all the way straight. Then let's bend the knee again. And we'll just start to pair that movement with the breath. Just pairing the breath and the body. Your choice on when you inhale or exhale. And we'll press the foot back up toward the sky. And we'll keep holding on to the leg. And let's give that right foot some love. Rolling the ankle around. Spread the toes wide. Find scary tree toes. And then we'll scrunch them in. Working out any snap, crackles, or pops. And we'll bend that right knee. We'll hug the knee in toward the body just for another breath. And we'll bring that right foot down to meet the left. And we'll hug that left knee in. Again, holding on to shin, knee, or back of the thigh. Allowing that left hip crease to deepen. So even if that knee isn't coming right into the chest, can you still work on allowing that hip crease to deepen, allowing the left side body to lengthen. And we'll hold on to the back side of the leg. And let's start to press that left foot up toward the sky. And with your next breath, we'll bend the knee, bringing the foot down. And again, we'll just pair the breath and the body, making this movement nice and slow and intentional. As cliche as it is, making it more about the journey and less about the destination. Yeah, less about the destination. And next time that left foot reaches up to the sky, we'll hold it there and we'll give that left foot and ankle all the same love that you gave the right foot and ankle. Maybe this foot is more snap, crackle, and poppy. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can hear it through the AirPod, but she's popping today. And let's bend that knee. Take another breath to hug that left knee in toward the chest. And we'll bring that left foot to meet the right. And again, let's reach the hands toward the back of the room. If it feels nice in the body, maybe you lengthen the legs out and just take one long body stretch. Maybe a couple yawns escape, and that's perfect. Then we'll bring the knees in toward the chest. And just like mentally think about, when we tell you to roll to your favorite side, which side you typically roll to. And then I want you to roll to the other side. And we'll just press the body up. Nothing too crazy. don't worry, you'll get a chance to roll to your favorite side. Your favorite side will not feel left out. And we will just come to a comfortable seat. So your choice on how that seat looks, legs crossed, front. If you need to grab a little bolster or blanket to go under the booty, get to it. Let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. Feeling that length in the top body again. And we'll exhale, twist toward the right. Left hand is going to rest on that right knee and use the back hand. It's just a little guide. Try not to lean back on it, but maybe you rest up on the fingertips to press the earth away. And again, can you make sure your shoulders aren't trying to make out with your ears? Feeling broad across the collarbones. And even though we're in a twist, can you feel the movement of the breath? I like to imagine that the breath is kind of moving in a spiral staircase up and down the spine, creating a little more space. We'll inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. Find that length in the top body. And with our next exhale, we'll twist toward the left. Right hand is resting on the left knee. And again, you're using that back hand to press the earth away. Shoulders are dropping. Feeling the breath move in the body to create a little more space, a little more energy. And let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. And now we'll move through this just one breath at a time. So exhale, twist toward the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist toward the left. Inhale up. One more time each side. And we'll inhale, reach the hands up to the sky, finding that length in the top body. And we'll bring the left hand down, reaching the right hand up and over. And can you actively root through that right hip? Breathing deeply into that right side body to create a little extra space. As we settle here for a couple more breaths, maybe you can walk that bottom hand out a little bit more to deepen the side opening. But if that hip starts to pop up, root it right back down. Let's inhale, reach the hands back up to the sky. Find that length in the top body. Next breath brings us over to the other side. Right hand down, left hand reaches up and over. That left hip is rooting down. Using the breath to create more space in the side body, but also along that left hip. And let's reach the hands back up to the sky. And one breath per movement. So exhale, side opening. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. One more time. And we'll reach the hands up to the sky. And we'll bring the hands behind the hips, just staying up on the fingertips. We're going to switch the legs. If you're like, so I really hoped for boat pose today, like get to it. You can do boat pose. But if you're going on the gentle journey with me, if you will, you'll just rest back on the hands and just a quick little switch of the legs. And we'll go slowly for those boat posers out there. Not calling you posers, just saying you're doing boat pose. It's your action at the moment. We'll take a couple breaths here. And let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach. And exhale. 2 more times. Just like when we were doing our flower sand angels. Taking the time to feel the movement in the shoulders. Hands to heart. Flip and reverse it. Hands reach up. Turn the palms away from each other and then press the air down toward the earth. Hands back to the heart. So as you press the arms down, can you imagine that there's some resistance? Imagine that the air just got really thick. You have that resistance. And then say hello to your shoulders. And one more time. And hands back to the heart. Taking a couple breaths here. Nothing too fancy. We're just going to come up and over to table pose. Wrists are going to be underneath the shoulders. Knees are going to be underneath the hips. And with your next exhale, next inhale, we'll drop the belly, sending the heart forward, coming into cow pose. And your next exhale, you're going to round the spine and tuck the chin, finding your cat pose. Now, even in gentle yoga, you can definitely twerk. So if you want to speed up the cat, cow, then get to it. Just one more round. And let's find that strong table back. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Imagine that you have your best favorite coffee. You're a coffee table at the moment because it's breakfast time, morning time. There we go. So you need your coffee table. You don't want to spill your coffee. We're going to reach the right toes back. We're and keep the toes on the earth. And let's just press out through that back heel. Again, you have the option to float the leg if you'd like to, ramp things up a little bit. And we'll bring that right knee to meet the left. And we'll sneak that left foot back, pressing out through the heel. And we'll bring that left knee to meet the right. So we're going to move through this a little, one breath per movement. And the goal is to try to keep the back, your table, nice and steady. So next breath, you'll sneak the right toes back, press out through the heel, and then you'll sneak the knee back. And then left foot. And bring that knee in one more time each side. And left foot. Sneak it back. We'll bring the big toes together, knees come apart, and we'll sink back, finding our child's pose. Now, if you and child's pose are not friends today, that's okay. You can continue to hang out in table. If the head isn't reaching the earth, you can always create a cute little pillow with your hands. You can add any props that you'd like. Just find a way to start to rest in whatever pose you're in. Let's inhale, rise back up to table. And we'll tuck the toes and we'll sink the hips back toward the toes. We're going to press through the hands and the legs as we start to press up, finding our down dog.
In our down dog, let's bring the feet out about match width distance, coming into a wide down dog. And we'll turn the hands out slightly as well, creating a little more space in the shoulders. And feel free to sway a little side to side. Using this down dog to create a little extra space in the hips and the shoulders to lengthen the spine. And we'll move the hands so the fingers are pointing forward again, and we'll gently walk the feet back in. And let's bend the knees, and we're just going to take a cute little stroll to the top of the mat. Nothing too fancy. Feel free to keep that nice juicy bend in the knees. And from our forward fold, we're going to actually use the help of the hands to start to walk the body up, allowing the spine to stack. Head will be the last piece to stack. And let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky and hands to the heart. So we won't be doing any vinyasas in this practice, but we're going to be doing like a little different type of vinyasa. It'll be a repetitive movement. So when we get there, you'll be like, oh, I got this. So we'll keep the hands at the heart. And we're going to rise up onto the tiptoes and then bring the heels down. 2 more times, rising up on the tiptoes. Imagine that you're trying to press the tops of the feet forward. Bring the heels down. 1 more time, rise up. And then we'll lower down. We'll bend the knees, finding a cute little chair pose, but we're going to sneak the hands. We'll keep the hands in that prayer pose. We'll sneak the forearms onto the thighs, coming into a coach squat, if you will, but trying to keep the spine nice and long, just like in a halfway lift. So think of this as like a supported halfway lift. So crown of the head is still going to reach forward, still have that strong table back. And if it's possible, keep your forearms on the thighs as you begin to straighten the legs, coming into kind of a supported forward fold. And then we'll bend the knees, straightening the spine, finding that coach halfway lift. Keeping the knees bent, we'll bring the hands to the heart, finding our chair pose. Even though it's gentle yoga, we're still chair posing, guys. And from our chair pose, let's sneak that left foot back. We're going to plant that foot, finding our warrior 1. So feel free to wiggle things around, finding that great moment for your legs, for your hips. And if you need to kind of swivel the hips side to side to find that happy point for the hips, definitely do that. Let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. We're going to straighten that front leg. And exhale, we'll bring the hands to the heart. Let's bend the knee. We'll send the heart forward. And we'll just flow through that. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend, hands to heart. Fly the heart forward. And again, you can do fancier things with the arms if you'd like. To add a little more core. If you'd like, you could fly the arms back. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale. We'll bend the knee. We'll bring the hands to the heart. We won't necessarily fly the heart forward because we're going to sneak up onto those back toes. And we're going to sneak the foot forward, finding our chair pose. And let's straighten the legs. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Hands to the heart. We're going to come into our little vinyasa moment. So we'll rise up onto the tiptoes, pressing the tops of the feet forward, and then we'll lower down. 2 more times. And we'll bend the knees, bringing the forearms onto the thighs, finding our coach halfway lift. So keeping the spine nice and long, crown of the head reaches forward. Check back in with those shoulders. Make sure they're not trying to eat the ears. And let's straighten the legs forward. And then let's find that coach halfway lift. And we'll bring the hands to the heart as we rise the top body up, keeping that chair pose. And then let's sneak the right foot back, planting the foot, taking those few moments to wiggle the legs around, to wiggle the hips around, maybe to dance around a little bit. Let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky, straighten that front leg. Exhale, hands to the heart, bend the knees, fly the heart forward. Inhale up. And then fly and bend. Continue to follow your breath, taking away what you need to or adding what you need to. Keep checking with that back leg. Make sure you're actively rooting through that back foot, allowing that to help anchor you onto your mat. One more time. Inhale up. And we'll bend. We'll keep the top body pretty upright. Come up onto the back toes. Sneak to chair pose. Hello, legs. And we'll press through the soles of the feet, rise up. And we'll bring the hands to the heart. Maybe you drop the gaze or close your eyes. Checking in with your breath. And we'll blink the eyes open. And let's inhale, rise up. And exhale, lower. And feel free to hold onto walls. Oh, I'm like cutting off my face. Hi, everyone. I didn't factor that I'd be going up onto my tiptoes as I checked everything. That's okay. And we'll bend the knees, finding our coach halfway lift. There. As long as I just stay in chair pose, as long as all of us stay in chair pose, we'll say, then you can see my face. And let's forward fold, keeping the arms, the forearms on the thighs. And then finding that coach halfway lift. Hands come to the heart, finding your chair pose. And let's sneak that right foot back. We're going to stay up on those back toes, finding our crescent pose. And if this back leg isn't necessarily going to straighten, that's okay. You just still want to have that same intention and action of actively pressing that back heel back. Again, allowing it to help anchor you so it's not too wobbly. Let's inhale, reach up, straighten that front leg. As we bend into that front knee, we're going to bring the arms forward. So as we straighten that front leg, we're going to pull that left elbow back, finding our best archer, Katniss Everdeen, and then we'll bring the hand forward. Unless you have another favorite archer, Merida. She's a Disney character, in case you didn't know. Reaching it back. And if you want to go into that full twist, get to it. And one more time. We'll reach the hands up to the sky and hands to the heart. And we'll sneak the right foot forward, finding chair. Let's straighten the legs, reach up to the sky. Feeling really long through the body As Mickey likes to say, imagine that you're holding onto those monkey bars, allowing the body to get really long, but then feeling that anchoring of the feet toward the mat. And we'll bring the hands to the heart. And we'll rise up onto the tiptoes. And heels come down. Ooh, it's harder than it looks, right? We'll bend the knees, finding our coach halfway lift. Exhale to our coach forward fold. We'll find our halfway lift. And let's find our chair pose. And we'll sneak that left foot back. Finding our crescent pose. Again, take a couple breaths here to get everything situated. And again, if this back leg isn't all the way straightened, that's okay. Just you want that intention of actively pressing out through that heel. So reach the arms up. Inhale it, straighten that front leg. Exhale, we'll bend into that front leg. Reach the arms forward. Inhale, we'll straighten as we pull that right elbow back. Bend into that front knee, reach the right arm forward. And just follow your breath here. One more time. We'll bring the hands to the heart and let's sneak the left foot to meet the right, finding our chair pose. We'll root through the feet, reaching the arms up, finding that length in the body. We'll bring the hands to the heart to reconnect with the breath. Again, feel free to close the eyes or drop the gaze. Thinking of this as like your child's pose, your standing child's pose, if you will. And we'll blink the eyes open. And let's rise up onto the tiptoes. And press the heels down. And press the tops of the feet forward as you rise up. And lower down. And lower down. Bending the knees, coach halfway lift. And let's find our supported forward fold. And our supported half lift. And our chair pose. And we'll sneak that left foot back. We'll reach the arms forward. Let's straighten that front leg as we pull that right elbow back. And we'll bend into that front knee, reach the right arm forward. And we're going to open up warrior two, facing the left edge of the mat. Inhale, let's reach the hands up to the sky, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. So instead of doing like the reverse and the forward, all of that, we're going to change things up. So this time as we straighten that front leg, we're going to bring the arms down. We'll bend into that front knee, reach the arms out. Inhale, reach the arms up. And we'll bring the arms down. So we're having like a little ballet moment. Inhale, ballet arms. That one's for my sister. She's a ballerina, so. In a past life, I also was a ballerina, but today we're ballet yogis. And as we start to flow through this, maybe you find little bit of a fluid movement where you eliminate the pauses in between the knee bends and the arm movements. And you make the movement nice and fluid, just like your breath. Because hopefully you're not holding your breath or taking those pauses in your breath. And we'll meet back in Warrior Two. We'll bring the hands to the heart. And we're going to shift the hips forward, finding our crescent pose. And you guessed it, chair pose. This is the Jaime portion of the class, all the chair pose. And we'll root through the soles of the feet, reaching the arms up, finding the length in the body. And hands come to the heart. And we'll rise up onto the tiptoes and lower down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And lower down into your chair pose, down to supported half lift. And forward fold. Finding that supported half lift. And chair pose. And let's sneak that right foot back, finding our crescent pose. Reach the arms forward. Straighten that front leg as you pull that left elbow back. Press the left hand forward as you bend into that knee. And we'll open up Warrior Two, facing the right edge of the mat. Inhale, let's reach up to the sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale, we'll straighten the leg, finding our ballet arms. Then again, you'll just start to find that pairing of the breath and the body. And maybe you start to eliminate the pauses, but you still keep all of the movement very intentional. Sometimes when we eliminate the pauses, we can just kind of get into, a weird pattern, but still find that intentionality. Pretty sure that's a word. If not, I'll write Webster, make sure they add it. One more time, either reaching up or reaching down, and we'll find our Warrior Two. Bring the hands to the heart, and we'll find our crescent pose, and we'll step forward, finding our chair pose. And we'll root through the soles of the feet, reaching up. This time we are going to come into a full forward fold if that feels comfortable on the body. If you and forward fold aren't friends today, you can stay in any of those supported little poses we've done. Or maybe it's time to drink your beverage. Cheers, my friends. And from our forward fold, let's again use the hands to walk all the way up the legs, stacking the spine. Head is the last piece to stack. So we're bringing the hands to the heart. We're gonna move so you can see me a little better. So hands come to the heart. And let's start to find that supported half lift.
Maybe you're here and you love it and you're going to stay here. Or maybe you start to rise up onto the toes. So we're kind of in a supported drinking bird, if you will. And if you're like, I'd like to go a little further, you can start to straighten the legs and fly the hands back. Or if you're feeling really good in the supported moment, stay here and think about all of the favorite beverages that your drinking bird enjoys. Mine would be beer, coffee, more beer, some wine. And we'll bring the heels down. And let's come back into our forward fold. Then let's rise up and reach up. Hands coming to the heart. So we're going to come into that one more time. I'm a big believer in balancing twice. So that way, first time around, your body's like, what? And the second time around, hopefully your body's like, oh, I get this. I get what we're doing. So hopefully this time your body's like, okay. Or it might still be very concerned about what's going on. So again, let's find that supported coach pose. Maybe this time around you want to try going maybe into more of a full drinking bird. But we'll start to rise up onto the tiptoes. Again, furniture, walls, those are all fair game as well. And if you have a cute little ottoman in front of you, maybe you start to straighten your legs, or you can keep that bend in the knees. If I remember correctly, Jerry really likes flamingos, right? So maybe you like, I mean, it'd be very fancy, but you could like lift one leg and you're drinking flamingo. But again, do that at your own risk. I didn't tell you to do that. And then let's find our forward fold again. So we're going to start to find our way down onto the mat. Now, if you are like, Seville, I've been wanting a vinyasa, you haven't given it to us, now would be a really great time to do a vinyasa. Like, what is that? We're not going to do it, so I'm not going to teach it. In gentle yoga moments, we're just going to come down, hands and knees, finding our table. And I don't know about you guys, but my feet are like, what did you just do to me? So one of my favorite things to do, my feet are sore, is to just kind of pat them on the ground. So maybe you do that. If you're living in an apartment and people live below you, maybe don't do that, or do it softly. Or if you don't like your downstairs neighbor, do it very loudly. And then let's come up onto the toes and just kind of press back. Press the heels, the hips back toward the heels. Just having a moment of opening through the feet. And let's roll through cat-cow a couple times. If you didn't twerk enough, maybe that's when you get in your last little twerks. And however it makes sense in the body, maybe you swing the legs to the side, maybe cross the ankles and roll over. We're going to just gently lower down. Again, if you needed that core moment and you want to like do a couple sit-ups, get to it. We're just going to gently lower down. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. And let's hug that right knee in. Your choice on if that left leg is out long or if the knee is bent.
We'll hold on to the back side of the leg and press that foot up toward the sky. Again, giving that foot all sorts of love, maybe thanking it for doing all of the things that we did today. And you'll bend the knee and bring the foot down. And we'll bring that left knee in. Let's press that foot up toward the sky, giving all that same love and appreciation. And we'll bend that left knee. And let's press the foot down, meeting the right foot. And we'll be coming into a supine twist. So if you have like a favorite version of this and you want to do that, perfect. If you like bringing the knees in toward the body and twisting like that, perfect. I'm going to do kind of a more, I don't know, I can't think of the word. Let's just do it together and then you can help me describe it later. So we are going to bring the feet out about mats with distance again, allowing the knees to knock in on each other. But then we'll start to kind of windshield wiper the knees side to side. And maybe you walk that right foot in just a tad bit, because next time we come over to the right, we're just going to let the legs fall over to the right. So the legs aren't necessarily touching. I don't know how one would describe this. It's a supine twist. So there you go. And you can do anything you want to with your arms. If you like to have them out in a T or cactus shape, or maybe you want them resting close to the body. And if you want to move a little deeper into this pose, maybe you bring that right ankle over the outside of that left knee. You might try that and go, nope. And if that's the case, then don't do it. Let's bring the knees back to the center. Taking a moment of stillness to rest the back onto the mat. And then maybe you start to find that windshield wiper of the knees side to side. One of the reasons I love yoga is because you can turn a noun into a verb, because we windshield wiper our knees and everyone knows what that means. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to windshield wiper so hard. It's awesome. Like, one of the many reasons I love yoga. And whenever you're ready, let's bring the knees over to the left into whichever version of a supine twist you're enjoying today. And feel free to wiggle things around until you find that sweet spot where you can start to release and rest. Then you have the option to bring that left ankle to the right outside knee. Do a quick check-in of the shoulders. Just realized that mine were sneaking up to my ears. Gotta keep them away. Sometimes I feel like I need to wear a cone of shame, like dogs, to try to keep them away from each other. And let's bring the knees back to the center. And then we'll bring the knees in to knock in on each other again. And we'll reach the arms up to the sky. One more time, giving your wrists that release, that love. And we'll reach the hands toward the back of the room, allowing the top body to feel nice and long here. And if it feels nice in the body, maybe you move the top body over to the right, finding a half banana shape. We'll call it a mini banana, a plantain, if you will. And then maybe the top body moves over to the other side. And we'll come back to the center and take these next couple breaths to move through any other poses that the body might be craving, or if you'd like to end your practice with that nice hug of the top body, you can do that. Finding your way to our final resting pose. Allowing this practice, allowing your intentions, allowing the ability to not always push yourself to do more than you need to, allowing all of that to settle. Now start to deepen the breath. Inviting movement back into the hands and the feet. When you feel ready, rolling to your favorite side. And then gently pressing your way up. Coming to a comfortable seat. And bring the hands to the heart. Thank you for sharing your practice, energy, and spirit with me and with all the yogis that are practicing as well. The light within me honors the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. And cheers. Thank you guys so much for going on this gentle journey with me. I feel like that was a very Bob Ross thing to say.
I hope it was. Oh, yay. I'm so glad that, oh, I don't do drinking flamingo. I do drunken flamingo. Oh, I like that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the gentle practice. You know, as instructors, we try to give you what you want, which in turn is typically what we want or what we need. And so, yeah, you're always taking a gamble, but I'm glad you guys really like that. We have a lot of amazing things coming up. If I were a little more astute, I would have memorized that beforehand. I don't, and I don't want to give you wrong information. So check out our social medias and our all of our good things, and that's how you'll know what all the good things are that's coming up. I do know that we're starting to offer more in-person classes, and so registration opens at different times. So make sure that you set your alarm so you can practice with us in person. Our Portland crew, we are in the works of getting some in-person classes, so I just can't wait to see you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad you love the playlist, and yay, thank you everyone. Grouchy cakes this morning. I love that. Echo. Anyway, suggested donation is $5, but I love all of your thanks. That's enough to make my heart soar for the rest of the day. Anyways, everyone have a beautiful day. Enjoy maybe the sunshine that will be here tomorrow, and have a beautiful one.